There's one thing you need to understand about those scam artists that run mega churches or that run parts of governments or social movements. Yes, there are many gurus out there who are nothing but experienced scam artists. Now, how come they keep on succeeding? Apart from demonic assistance, there's one thing those scam artists have in common. They are realistic. They know how commoners think. They know how commoners react. And they make use of the fallen state of commoners to exploit commoners. Let's go to those get-rich-quick schemes of those self-help gurus who promote becoming a millionaire within a year without having to do much effort. Now, there are many people out there that teach self-help and they mean well, they don't intend to harm anyone. I'm not addressing those. I'm addressing those scam artists that come as gurus to let you think they're there to help you, but they're really there to rip you off. I'm talking about those. So, about those get-rich-quick schemes, there's one thing those scam artists or those con artists have in common. They all have an internal economy together with other scam artists. For example, you can have this guy that tells you that he was born in a poor family, he suffered a lot of domestic violence, he didn't succeed in school, and now he has this $1 million business. Now you see it's $1 million business, it's there, so that's true. So you see that, and you see evidence or pictures of him during his childhood in an impoverished place. So you see facts that indeed he came from a poor background and now he has this $1 million business. So your interest is, how did he do it? And that is what keeps you interested in this individual. But this individual, together with some others who do a similar thing, they have an internal economy in which they trade with one another. They do not spend money on people outside of that circle. But now, for this internal economy to grow, they need to add money to the cash flow. And that's why they come up with those get-rich-quick schemes to scam people, to get money out of people, to push into this internal economy. And by doing this, the internal economy that they've established will grow and grow and grow. And that's how they remain stable. Well, at the same time, you're becoming poorer and poorer. It's an ancient game that empires played on the human population over and over again. They won't teach you how to develop a local circular economy that will be stable in the long run. They won't teach you that. Instead, they teach you that you need to rely on the landlord or the castle lord or the local duke or the local temple or whatever for your financial security. And what happens is that those scam artists, they have a stable economy that they themselves have established amongst each other, but that economy needs to be energized, and they get that energy from you. Because when human beings operate in groups, we are spiritual forces. So you have scam artists that form a spiritual force with one another, and now as a spiritual force, they need to be energized. And they energize it by draining others of their energetic emissions. Either in a positive way, by people investing in their product, or in a negative way, by people being upset with them. There's also a way to drain people from their energy emissions in order to boost whatever you're doing. So you may have two scam artists that are openly scamming people, and they are caught, and people are upset with them. And then you have two other scam artists who are part of the same group that people praise. People don't see those as scam artists from the same team. So now they get both aversive or aversion, as well as attraction as a supply. That is what they do. So what they're telling you in those self-help speeches is not BS. They're telling you facts, but the facts are only applicable in the context of a circular local economy. But they won't tell you this. They tell you, just go on Amazon, make an account, begin to import goods from China, then sell them again, and before you know it, you don't have to go to work anymore. You're making thousands of dollars at home. They won't give you the context in which it works. That's what they are withholding from you. And by withholding you the context, you think if you put in the right effort, it will work for you. But it cannot work for you because you're not included in a circular local economy. They are. And by you investing in their seminars to gain knowledge, you will gain knowledge, but you won't be able to effectively use that knowledge because you're not part of a local circular economy. Now, if you decide to build your own circular local economy, that's good. Then such principles and such teachings will work for you. But as long as you're not aware that you need to be in the context of a local circular economy, all that you will receive is just information without a context. And because you believe in information, but you don't have the right context, you will end up depressed, you will end up failing here and there, and you will think, why it doesn't work for him and not for me? And then you think, I may need some assistance. And that's how you're lured into the darkness more and more. Because before you know it, you end up selling your soul just to have things working for you. Because you're so exhausted by trying and trying, you think, I just want things to happen quickly. That's the trick. So, information without the context will become deception. Why? Because all information must be given in a context for people to process it properly. If I say the bank is closed, just like that, people are going to say, bank? Which bank? What is he talking about? But if I'm in a conversation with a colleague and he needs to go to arrange some stuff at the bank, and I know that tomorrow is a holiday, I tell him the bank is closed. And in that conversation, I say the bank is closed, he remembers that he said he's going to the bank tomorrow, he realizes, oh, okay, so tomorrow the bank is closed, thank you. But if I just state the bank is closed just like that, without any context, people are going to think, huh? What's going on? And here's the trick. Those scam artists, they offer you information, often abundant information, but they don't give you a proper context. Because you receive all that information, your brain assumes a context. That's what your brain does. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you are driving your car and suddenly there's a child that runs on the street, your brain realizes immediately there's danger and your muscles freeze and you stop the car. I mean, you're frozen in driving further, so you stop the car. It's an automatic response and life is preserved. So the brain is designed to assume a context, and there's nothing wrong with it. But there are times your brain is wrong or incorrect because your brain is just a machine. That's why you as a spirit being, you can examine whether what your brain perceived is true or not. Your brain is there. Your brain has its function. You should pay attention to your brain, but you cannot rely completely on your brain. But just understand, we assume a context when we receive information. That's natural. There's nothing to be delivered from. And scam artists and con artists, they make use of this. So they withhold the context, they keep giving information, and by giving information, they're hinting you in a direction. And because you have real information, you think, I can get ahead. But you can't get ahead because you're not operating in the right context. That is why, for example, when you're writing a scientific article, they want you to make a firm statement in the beginning what the context of the research is. If you don't do that, people will not accept your scientific or scholarly article in one of their annual reviews or in one of their publications. Even in college, if you don't give a firm statement what your research is about in the beginning, you'll get a bad grade, or you may even fail the course, or you may fail your thesis. Why? Because the reader needs a context in which he can process things. In daily life, people often don't examine the context of what society tells them. So that's where people are deceived already. And then when society is oppressing them and they need a way out, they're not even realizing that it's society that oppresses them because they are in agreement with society. They can't even discern what is the fruit and what is the root. So if you can't discern the fruit from the root, how are you going to deal with that issue? You can't, because you need to deal with it from the root. But if you don't see what the root is, nor what the fruit is, you're already operating in darkness and in confusion. And you have a lot of confused people out there that want quick fixes. And those scam artists and con artists, they make use of it by giving them real information without the context. And because they're not used to check the context, they fall right into it. Now, those scam artists and con artists are wrong, absolutely. No sympathy for them. There is one thing, however, that they're right about. A lot of those scam artists and con artists, when you look at the scams they come up with, they're so unbelievable that your brain should warn you, this is a scam, this is a hoax, this can't be real. But because they overwhelm you with data, you assume the data to be real. And because you assume the data to be real, and often data is real, but because you don't have the proper context, you end up with the wrong conclusions and in the wrong direction. But even if you don't have the context, what they are selling you or what they're suggesting onto you is too good to be true. Or even if it's good and it's true and it's rare, if it's good and it's true but rare, your inner radar will show you that it's true. Because just because something good is rare doesn't mean it's false when it happens. Some people have become cynical that they don't think good things happen. Such people can easily be scammed also, because as a human being, you're designed to expect good. Even narcissists and people that are complete reprobates expect and demand good things, because without good things, they can't operate. So, what we should always do is to check the context. Either you check the context and you see what's going on, or you don't check the context, you're deceived. Some people become cynical, and any type of way out of oppression they perceive as a scam. Don't think everything is a scam, because not everything is a scam. There are genuine methods out there that help you, but you must use them in the proper context. Some people don't want to make any effort to see what's going on. They just want everything to be handed over to them on a silver platter. And scam artists and con artists know this, so they deliver things onto you on a silver platter, and what they serve onto you are tools, but you won't be able to use them. And you ask for the tools, you were never interested in the context, so they can use that to blackmail you once they're caught. So the scam artist may say, if they're standing for the judge, but Your Honor, I only gave them some hints. I never told them it would actually work. Or, well, people could at least ask them questions. So now the scam artist or con artist, who's now a convict, will use the ignorance as well as the narcissistic tendencies of his or her victims to bail themselves out from being held accountable. It happens. Just realize that you are responsible for checking the context. Now, if you've been scammed or conned because someone was so convincing and so overwhelming, then it happened. It's not your fault. You're not Superman. You're not a god. Okay, so you can be tricked. Just realize that once you're tricked, that you are vulnerable to it. People that think that they can never be scammed or conned, they are conned and scammed already. So, always check the context. Be at peace.